Hi friends, in today's video I'm going to help you learn how to loot faster on controller in Apex Legends. I've got some really great tips around settings but also in-game tips to help you improve how to loot faster and more safely. Becoming a master of looting can help you get more kills and just generally improve the way you play Apex Legends and the fluidity of your game. Let's start with some things you can do to your settings to help you loot faster but also avoid bullets and loot more safely on controller. The first thing you want to do in settings is head to the controller tab, find where it says menu cursor speed, and you want to increase this. For controller players, the default value can really limit the speed for which you scroll through and select items when looting, particularly from death boxes, but also in things like when you're crafting. Now don't put it up to maximum because it's probably going to be too fast unless you've got really great reactions and your controller's super responsive, but my personal preference is to have it just under halfway. I find this gives me enough speed to pick up loot quickly enough, but it also gives me enough control so I can quickly and precisely click on the items that I want to loot. Remember, precision is also important as well as speed. The second thing you want to do in settings, and this is something that will help you loot more safely, is to change your controller preset. And what you want to be looking for is the preset that moves your crouch button away from B to another button on your controller. There are a couple of different presets you can use. Personally, I like button puncher because it's nice and simple without being too different, but there are a couple of others you can choose. I know a lot of people like Ninja, especially those of you that use claw. It's quite a good one. The reason you're doing this is because you're moving your crouch button away from B, and this will allow you to crouch while you're looting a death box, and thus helping you to avoid more bullets while looting. Again, this will take some getting used to when you first make the change, but in the long run it will definitely help you. You won't get quite as much movement as the full kind of movement you get on PC, but this is kind of the closest thing you can get. The final setting you want to change is a key setting which you really should be changing. It's under the gameplay tab in settings. Find where it says taking damage closes death box or crafting menu, and you want to turn it off. By default this is normally on, and you don't want it on because it takes away your control when looting death boxes. There are so many occasions these days in Apex Legends where you'll need to make a quick armor swap or grab some ammo, or just in general be able to loot very quickly while being shot at, and by turning this off it will allow you to take a bullet or two while still looting. Okay, so those are the settings you need to change. Let's talk about some things you can do in game to also help you loot faster and more safely. The key thing and the secret to looting fast is knowing your inventory. Slow looters are generally slow because they like shopping. It's like they're on Amazon without really knowing what they want to buy, and they're just kind of searching through the listings. That's what makes you loot slowly. Instead, you need to know exactly what's in your inventory and what you need to be picking up, and almost ignore everything else. The more you get this in your head, the faster you'll be able to loot. And that's also why you notice top pros like Shiv sometimes miss loot. It's because they don't really care about the loot. They care about positioning and kills and enemies, and your looting needs to be very much the same. Not a shopping experience, but a way for you to grab what you need and quickly get back to the game. And you kind of need to lose that fear of having a fully kitted weapon, or getting those attachments you need, or getting extra heals in case you need them. Forget about that fear. You can deal with what you need when you need it. An alternative tip you can use is to pick up everything, whether that be from a loot bin, a death box, or whatever. Grab it all. Then, as you're running, quickly open your menu and drop the things you don't need. That way you're not slowing down to loot, but you are still getting what you need. Now I should say this is only if you want to speed up your game and be more effective, more aggressive, and perhaps more efficient in Apex Legends. But there's actually nothing wrong with looting slowly in certain situations. You just need to judge that situation carefully, because sometimes it's good to slow down your game and loot a little bit and play slowly, particularly in ranked. Of course, I'm a Loba main as you know, so obviously I like to loot. You just need to know when the right time to do it is. Another trick to help you loot more safely as well as quickly is to learn to jump as you enter a death box. The timing needs to be done right, because if you press it too late, you won't jump, you'll just go straight into the loot box. But if you press it too early, you're not going to jump while you're looting, and it kind of makes it a little bit pointless. But if you get the timing right, you should be jumping and you should be mid-air while you're in the death box and looting, and you can then use your new settings to crouch spam while you're looting, and this then gives you the effect of being able to jump up and then bounce up and down while looting. And you can imagine this is definitely going to help you loot so much more safely, and this will definitely help with those armor swaps that you need. Another trick you can use when you finish looting is called the step back. You see, I take a step back and do a little jump as I leave the death box. Again, just making it harder for people to shoot me when I loot. So these simple tips should help you improve how you play Apex Legends by looting faster but also more safely. They may seem subtle, but you should definitely notice this faster looting techniques can really help improve your game. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.